Look on the news and you will find startling things that are happening in our society. You will probably see people talking about another school shooting or another church shooting and where many innocent people died. Each and one of you need to take a look at our society and what it has become. We humans are learning to live our lives in fear. Fear that one day someone might come in and threaten to shoot us for no reason, but being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Why should we have to live our lives in fear, waiting for another tragedy to occur, when we can make our voices be heard? Our voices can be the saving of many people's lives that are at risk to be taken from them by a mentally unstable human being that has a hold of a death machine known as a gun. I am here to encourage you all to take a stand so that none of us ever have to live in fear anymore, risking the lives of us or the lives of our loved ones. I am here to tell you all why guns must be banned for the sake of our society and for the sake of our people. I'll first speak to you all about the statistics of gun violence that have occurred in recent years, then about the opposing views of gun laws. Next, about why guns are a menace to our society. Lastly, I will talk about what changes can be done to solve the problem. One thing that I have come to realize is that the statistics behind all the violent occurrences due to the firearms are startling. According to the World Health Organization data, the US has one of the highest rates of death by firearm. Having the world's highest rate of violence can later result in even more catastrophic upbringing of mass shootings. The US, as we can see, has been made a home to gun violence, making our home unsafe. According to the Gun Violence Archive, almost 300 mass shootings have occurred this year of 2018. These are nothing but numbers being put to account for people's lives that were taken from them. Instead of seeing numbers, we must see the reality behind them, realizing that people's lives should not only be just numbers, but a motive to create change. Humans' lives should not be taken lightly, for we are the future of this world, and firearms should not be a factor that puts our lives at risk, thus risking our world's future. According to Everytown Research, 96 Americans are killed every day by use of a firearm. These terrifying statistics are nothing but a reality to what our world is becoming. As our country resides in the Star-Spangled Banner, the land of the free, I am realizing that our freedom and peace is being defied by these killer machines. These statistics are startling, but these are still many opposing views to restriction of gun laws, which is something I will be talking to you all about. Why there are opposing views whether guns should be banned or not baffles me, because although people are seeing the damage these weapons are doing, they do not realize that it might be time to do something about it. I understand that weapons can be used for one's well-being, such as to defend themselves against threats and such, but just like there are good things, there are bad things. According to Navajo Code, the biggest con of placing restriction gun laws is that guns help deter crime. People say that if a criminal knows you have a weapon to defend yourself, then they will most likely not commit the crime. I say this is not true, because a criminal is still a criminal that does not care what consequences there are. Another thing that a person against gun restriction laws would argue is that the weapons are not at fault for crime being committed with them, but that the people committing the crime are to blame. This is partially true, but if weapons weren't available, then the criminal would be less able to commit murder, for the only thing a firearm does is make murder easier for them. If we take a look at the reasons people are pro-restriction laws, we will be able to see that they have more liable reasons for not wanting guns than the reasons of those against gun restriction laws. I believe that us humans tend to close our eyes to things we do not want to see, but this must stop happening because reality needs to be known in order to make our world a safer place. As you can all tell, there are always going to be opposing sides as to whether there should be gun restriction laws or not, but I'm going to talk to you all about why I believe that guns are a menace to our society. Usually we think of murder when we hear the word gun, especially now that our society is being corrupted. There would be no need for all these violent outbreaks if we got rid of all these firearms. Statistically, guns have brought more violence than good doings in these past years, which is a thing that no one wants to hear. Guns should be prohibited because they are items that are made to kill someone. It being for defense or for bad doing, they are still used to kill. Killing is a thing that no one must do, for we have no right to take someone's life away as if we were God to do such thing. If weapons did not exist, I think that the US would be more peaceful and safer. There would be less death and more life, less sorrow and more joy, and our future generations will be able to grow in a real home and not a death playground. I believe that many people's lives would be saved and many criminals would kill less. These are the reasons why change needs to be made, and these are the steps that we can take to make them happen. To solve this problem of violence due to firearms, I believe that we must vote for restriction gun laws so that guns are made illegal or to make firearms harder to obtain. All of us should rally and speak up in order to gain a gun-free country. We are the change and we are the future, so we must be heard. One thing that we can do to place gun restriction laws is that we can get our word out to the government so that they can place these laws for us. If the government realizes that guns indeed are a big issue, then they will probably make these laws for our safety. If only a few of us ask for the government for better gun restriction laws to be placed, the probability of them listening to us is minor, which is why we must all unite. The word no should not be an option. We should say yes. Yes for us and for our future generations to come, so that they won't have to live with fear. For those people that had their lives taken from them by a gun, we must be their voice. All of us need to voice our opinions to the government so that they know that what we humans need to live a better life. Guns should be a no, not a yes, and they should be banned once and for all. I am here to let you see that we do not need more guns, because we do not need more death. If you all will stand up with me, I believe we can make a change. We can be the making and start of a better, more united country. We will no longer have to hear stories of lives being taken from innocent people. There will be no more mass shootings at schools, churches, bars, or concerts, because without guns, criminals will not be able to kill this many people at once. I want you all to see that without guns, we can save many people's lives. So each and one of you need to take a stand with me to ensure that our country becomes a safe, loving, and united gun-free country.